to skip over a couple of your hot takes here, not because they aren't good, but simply because our time is running out and we have to get to this last one. I can't let you go without this last one, where you said, don't peel finest cards. Okay. Don't. So you are anti-peel. Tell me about that. Give me your reasoning. What's going on there?
Yep, and I can already hear the DMs coming in from certain people that we know. So
Well, they tell
um
you on the peel to peel them, right? So,
they
okay. So,
do, and I've heard that. So I like cards the way that they came out of the pack. And I've heard the argument that the pack opening process isn't completed until you've peeled the cards. I want them the way that they were in the pack. The other thing too is you can always take the peel off the card. You can never put the peel back on the card. So that's one of the things for me. And like I get when people say I take the peel off because aesthetically it looks better. I can't argue with that at all. Because they're right. I've gotten cards in my collection. I have cards in my collection that have been peeled not by me. And they look better. But I would still, when I have one that has been peeled in my collection, I still want a peeled version of the card or an unpeeled version of the card because, again, you can never put that peel back on. So, I think a lot of these are getting peeled because people want to get higher grades, and those peels tended to lead to lower grades. Not all the time. You can see some high grade versions, but I feel as though over time there's going to be fewer and fewer with the peel still on it. So if you are a person like me, I'm not saying go and buy up all the ones with peels because they're going to be more valuable. That's don't take that from this. I'm saying if you're a person like me that wants it to be the way that it was in the pack in your collection, get them while you still can because they might be harder and harder to find as days go on.
yeah, and I sounded like I was opposed to you earlier on. I actually am the same as you, where if it's not peeled, I don't want to be the one to do that because it just feels like I am, I don't know, I'm changing the population. Like, oh, now there's one less
Mm-hmm.
like this now, and it's not reversible. Now, with that being said, I don't know if you've been able to listen to the episode with Kyle Collects yet, where he talked about the mystery finest refractors. Now that to me, it was pretty wild leaving that on, even though I'm all for like leaving the peels on. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I actually, so like for Penny, for some of the mysteries, I have unpeeled versions of those in my collection. Some of them you can tell who the player is
Mhm.
without peeling them. So in those cases, that's how I know I have a Penny. There are some that you can't tell, but I love the mystery finest. I think it's a kind of fun thing, but again, I only buy ones and leave them the way that I purchase them. Right? I don't like taking the peels off. So if I want one of those mystery finest that are unpeeled, then I go and I try to find that unpeeled and I leave it unpeeled. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a struggle, right? And if we want to display this stuff, then we have to buy multiple copies. That's like the no
Yep.
protector backs. I have different versions in my binder where I have just the backs of the cards showing, just because I have to have two copies to show that. So that's us. We're fickle, right?